Hello, hello, hello. Hello, humanity. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to come to you yesterday with the children's little sugar-free anti-bullying slides, along with at least one of the slides from the Let's Do a Tiny Thing to Change the World. Yesterday, I know you're tired of hearing it, but you know my aches. It's just like they decide when I bring content and when I don't. It's something. But anyway, today. I wanted to come with a little children's story. And remember, if you're new to the channel, basically all it is just a little fiction story for children where we cover, where we touch on anti-bullying as well as sugar-free. And remember, we're all so many of us are in this struggle where we're still coming out of the struggle, or we're still in the struggle, or some of us are making our decision as it relates to the struggle, the endless eating, the endless cravings, and what have you, and trying to adopt recipes that may in fact help us. So we're hoping that with this little campaign with the sugar-free bars and the sugar-free cooking and constant reiteration, that maybe we can just catch one kid and while they're young, give them a realization of just how awful sugar can be to the body, and give them some creative options. Okay, with that being said, this is the little short story. The name of it is Bullies and Bullies in the Backyard. Bailey, excuse me, Bailey, the little boy in the orange house with the misspelled welcome mat. The welcome mat, the welcome mat is not actually misspelled, but the letter on the welcome mat was wiped off from the continuous salt from the winter seasons. Bailey was not happy today. He was not happy at all. The little boy that sang Jubilee and Me, See Me, Jubilee. Bailey would go on and on and on. He would go singing happy, happy, happy phrases. Today was different though. The day that the weather forecaster predicted sunshine and warm breezes. It was the perfect day. The perfect day, Bailey thought. Bailey decided quite early on yesterday that he would have a suds and say day. Bailey and his friends would dance in the suds and say fun and more fun in our play. Bailey was faced with two disappointments. Dad ran down the stairs at his usual time, but with a much hurried pace. He stopped and greeted Bailey. He gave Bailey a quick reminder. Bailey, there will be no playing in the backyard. There also will be no playing with different soaps in the backyard. Some of the guys from the job, some of the guys from work, we're going to have a car wash where we're raising money for the food giveaway. There was a complete silence on Bailey's part. He couldn't believe it. He could not believe it. A car wash, a car wash using the suds that he had saw, that he had already envisioned making suds with, and playing with endless hours of play in the backyard. Bailey was standing at the top of the stairs. He could hardly believe his ears. He had already texted a few of his friends at the better part of yesterday. We are having sugar-free, sweet, sweet, sweet bars and loads of fun and suds. Water and suds and sweet treats, he texted a few friends. Bailey thought to himself, what will I tell my friends? And not to mention, Bailey thought to himself, all of that sunshine and beautiful warm breezes. No suds at all, Dad. No playing with the soaps, Bailey. Well, Dad, okay, okay. There are little boxes of lemon scented soaps. My friends and I could play in the lemon scented suds and have cleaned up before you got home, Dad. Before you and your friends even arrived. Bailey, Dad said, just above yelling. Okay, Bailey said. Okay, Daddy, you never considered this. There's one box of soap that says brand new. It's brand new, Dad. Listen. It says evergreen soap, brand new. Why not let me and my friends make suds and play and then listen to what we have to say? Listen to see if the report that's on the box is good. Is the soap good? Does it last? Does it lather up good? Give us a chance, Dad. Do they smell well? Are they really sudsy? Bailey said. Bailey, son, it would mean a lot to your dad if you understand just how important it is for us to provide meals for people that may be having a slight struggle. Put on extra X. Put an Dad said that, and then he put on an extra smile on his face. And as he left out, he said it would make your dad happy if you would clean that extra junk up by the garage, and my friends and I, we can just come right in and start washing. Bailey listened, and he shifted his thoughts and shifted his concerns from having suds and fun in the backyard to helping his dad, turning only to smile and Bailey and say again, make your dad proud today. Bailey forgot about everything. Helping his dad was crucial now. The sound of laughter had just suddenly appeared. Blah, bam! Uh-oh, came streaming through the curtains, through the window, and into the ears of Bailey. Bailey became Bailey became suddenly aware of the voice. He knew exactly where it was coming from. Bully Belmore and his crew were in Bailey's backyard. Could you believe it? They were making a sudsy mess just after Dad had proclaimed his need for no messing with the suds and no messing up the backyard. Bully Belmore gestured for his crew to hide behind the tree until Bailey's dad pulled off for work. Bailey, Bailey's dad, Bailey's dad pulled off and never noticed Belmore and his crew at all. Within an hour, Bailey's backyard was scented with scents of evergreen, lemon, sandalwood, and much more. Bailey raced down the stairs. He hid just beyond the treehouse. It was Saturday, you know. He waited for his friends, one friend after the other. They arrived, and Bailey gestured for each to hide behind or hide near the treehouse. He knew what kind of trouble it could bring if Belmore and his bullying crew saw either he or his friends. The backyard now had Mom's clothes that were hanging on the line. They were all sudsy and wet. Some of them were smelling like lemon. Some of them were smelling like sandalwood. How would he explain this, not only to Dad, but now Mom? Big Bully Belmore took his big socks and his big shoes off. He and his other bullying friends ran around the backyard, throwing suds and laughing and making the backyard look really bad. What would happen if his dad and his friends came home early? Uh-oh, Bully Belmore and his bullying friends were running and giggling and every now and then hollering out, uh-oh, when they'd slip and didn't meet quite their destination. All the hard work that Dad and his friends had done to the backyard had gone down the drain. Hey, you fathead, Bailey, Belmore spotted Bailey hiding just beyond the treehouse. Come here, right now, and I do mean right now, and bring your chore money with you. We want sweets and treats, the other bullies cried out. Let's give them their medicine quickly so we can continue to play in the suds. Bailey stood there with his hands touching his chore money in his pockets. He had been bullied by Big Bully Belmore for years. He knew the drill. Take his chore money, Take the slaps to the face, kicks to the knees, and the snatching right in the top of his hair. He was used to it, and so were the other children that had been bullied as well. He never said a word to Dad or Mom or his teachers. The other children neither did they. They also remained in silence. The other children began to form a line. They too were ready to get their bullying over with. Bailey was suddenly experiencing something different, quite different. This type of feeling, what was it? Is this what courage feels like? He thought to himself. He saw his dad smile just as he was leaving beyond the threshold of the door, and his happiness that was all over Dad's face. Just at Bailey's presence, just looking at Bailey seemed to bring Dad such pleasure. It was as if his dad was saying, "I'm glad you're my son." Bailey took his hands out of his pockets, and he began to stomp on the ground. Bam, 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 bam. No more bullying, no more bullying, no more bullying. The other children joined in. No more bullying, no more bullying. Bailey and the children stomped and they stomped and they stomped on the dirt, and the dirt began to look as if it was steaming. You just couldn't believe it. That's how strong their stomps were. The stomping created such a roar and such an outroar that Bailey's mom and the neighbors came running to the backyard. Bailey was courageous at that moment. He looked at the children with the proudest face. He thought about his dad's face. It was as if his courage had hands, hands that opened his mouth. And so he could say proudly, and so he could say without fear, "Mom, we are being bullied. We have been bullied by Belmore and his crew for months now." The neighbors that were in the backyard, those were the children's parents. And so, to their surprise, their children had been bullied too by Belmore and his crew. It wasn't long before Dad had arrived, and Dad and Mom and the other neighbors, they solved the bullying problem quickly, very, very quickly. And on went the food giveaway, on went the car wash without a hitch. Bailey really did save the day. He saved the day for Dad and his friends, and he saved the day quite heroically for his friends. They were never to be bullied again. The end.